I bought this Unity cart to be a TBR cart. I kind of realized it only comes with 3 chairs, and they're so small. And what is up with the doggy? I did not see that on Amazon. And then this is pretty much what I got. I'm gonna put it together, but I'm gonna have to be very selective of the books I put in here and what books I'm gonna say is on my TBR cart. I thought I could probably put every book that I have not read yet on here, but I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna have to be very selective and make sure I want to read first everything that I put into this one before I read any others. See, this was quite easily to assemble. I did not realize it was as small as it is. I am going and did not realize there was doggy prints in it. Doggy, wolf prints, bear prints, I don't know. But I did not see that on Amazon when I got it. I will still leave a link in the bio for this one, but just be aware that this is a small cart. I am actually gonna have to be very selective of the books I put on here. It is quite small. I'm probably gonna put the books I know I'm gonna only want to read once and just get rid of them first, instead of putting every book I own that's on my TBR on this little shelf. I'm gonna have to be very, very selective. I just discovered that I'm missing the last book of the series, Broken Thrones. I thought I had them all, but I guess I don't. I'm debating if I should just forget about this book series and not put them on my bookshelf or my TBR cart, or should I just get the last one and just remember that I need to put that on my bookshelf, TBR cart. Dilemmas. Discovered I have 2. This is the first book of this series, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to know if I wanted to continue reading the series. But I kind of just realized that I did the same thing over here. This is the first book of one series, very long series. I'm debating, and I have both series, the rest of the series in my TBR wish list on Amazon. I'm debating if I want to put these on my TBR cart and read them straight away to see, and just to see if I want to read the rest of them or not. Or should I put them back on my shelf and leave them for another time? This one I actually had for a very long time, this one, and never got another one. And then this one I just got this summer while I was still in Montana. Decisions. I think I'm gonna put these back on my shelves, both of them, and just try to read through stuff that I know I want to get rid of. I ended up putting the Red Queen series right here, and I want to read all of this and then just see if I want to get the last one, which I probably will because I'm going to read the rest of them. And so far, I've got a few here that I know I probably gonna read once and want to get rid of it once and probably want to get rid of it. I got Hillbilly Elegy, even though on here that I really desperately want to read. Even though it's a new book, I put it up on there. This one's an older book. This one's a newer book. And I got both the Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. And I really want to read the Starts With Us before the new movie comes out. So that's probably going to be a top priority, even though I'm going to put them back on my shelf and never, ever, ever get rid of those books. This my aunt gave me. Probably going to read it once. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. It's probably going to be a forced read, and it's going to end up being charity. I could already tell. I got The Great Gatsby, which is going to go back on my shelf. I got a couple bookmarks right here. And then on the other side so far, I got 40 Days with Jesus, which is really, really small. That's probably going to be an easy read. I got a lot of Nora Roberts, got a couple devotionals, got Hunting November. I read this book, but it's been a while, so I want to reread it. And then I got the last 2 books in the Gray series, which is 50 Shades of Grey, but from Christian's perspective, darker and freed. And that's it so far. Okay, so I kind of did what I said I was gonna do, plus a few more books that I know for a fact I'm gonna want to put back on my shelf. I got Nora Roberts, which I know once I read these, they're going to charity. I got the second and third book of the Gray series, which is 50 Shades of Grey, but from Christian's perspective. I have read Hunting November, but it was forever and ever and ever ago, and I never really did a review on it, so it's back on here. I got a couple of Fox News devotionals, and then this one looked good, so I grabbed it, and it's the Hazelwood, and then this really small guy, 40 Days of Jesus Always, and I just figured a day devotional, I could probably read this plus another book. I got a couple of Nicholas Sparks books. I got 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do, How to Get the Guy from Matthew Hazy, Warrior, and According to Kate. I can't turn this. No. See, this is, I didn't think this was going to be so small. I thought that was getting a bigger cart. And then I already told you that my aunt gave me this book, and I'm probably going to force myself to read it once and go through it. And then this is another Butte, Montana book, which I'm going to read and probably put back on my shelf. It's not like a real book, it's a fiction book. And then It Ends With Us. Loved that movie, and I really want to read The Starts With Us before the other movie comes on, so that's probably going to be the first 2 books that I take off the shelf, to be honest, and it's probably going to go right back on my one of my forever shelves. Got a couple bookmarks over here, and Put the Kettle On, Great Gatsby, and we got more Nora Roberts. The first 2 are the first books in 2 series. I made the subconscious decision to put these books on, so by the time I get to the last one, I'm going to probably have the last book, and a couple of Cornwall books, and then I've got, can you remember? Got this Cornwall book. I got Everything, How the Scots Invented the Modern World, A Woman Is a No Man, which was a recommendation from Zoe Sugg. And I got a lot of Zoe Sugg recommendation books, but like I said, I had to make the conscious decision of what books I wanted to go onto this card and what books had to stay on my shelf. Couple another Nicholas Sparks books, Waking Up Catholic, Orphan Train, a French book that I bought years ago and never read, and another Zoe Sugg recommendation, The F Word. The F Word's for female, by the way. And The Dark Queen Was Watching, and The Arts of Saying No. And I have to get to reading. Something tells me I'm gonna start with It Ends With Us, even though I know the movie already. But I do have 2 other books that I'm reading right now that I have to get through first before I even touch this cart, which is a big stressor because I own so many books and I don't have any room to put anything at all in my room. So I have to declutter, and this is what this TBR card's all about. And it's not even turning. Anyway, so let me show you all the books that's actually physically on my TBR, but not just on my TBR card. I did put a last edition in, one of the Jane Austen books that I need to get to. I only ever read Pride and Prejudice. I know, I'm bad. But I honestly need to reread it because I don't really remember most of it. Here are all the books that came back with me from Montana. It all came back in this bag. But this is all I have from Montana. If you could see. I could probably squeeze this on here, but I don't really want to. That could be for another time. I have read all the Twilight books. Like, don't worry, but I have not read Midnight Sun or The Host yet. I have read all of her books. Like I said, I just put it on on my TBR cart because I haven't read in a while. And I honestly have not read any of these books on these shelves whatsoever. Not even The Lord of the Rings. I have read those. I have not read any of the Outlander books. I kept trying to start Outlander, the very first one, but I kind of put it aside and started reading other things. And there's some other miscellaneous books, like there's a college book, and there's like autobiography and about like real life stuff. And yes, I have read all of the after books, the Vampire Academy books, in the second book series that is actually the sequel book series to Vampire Diaries, the Bloodline series. And yes, I have read The Bloodline, which was a really good book. I highly recommend it. And no, I have not read Jane Eyre. No, I've not read the homeschooling book. No, I've not read Mockingbird. But I have read the 2 Christian books right there in the end. Like I said, I really only ever read Pride and Prejudice. I really need to get back into that. No, I've not read Anne Frank's Diary. Yes, I have read The Kitchen. These are some of I have read Jesse James Decker little biography / cookbook. No, I've not read these Christian historical books. I have Adele. I have Billie Piper autobiographies. I have Victoria Beckham autobiography, and then I have Timothy Kelly book that I need to read.